I had a Zoom call with my friend Pastor Victor Daniel that I want you to listen to it together with me. The network is fairly okay now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Sam.
All right. I'm listening.
I was having a conversation with my spiritual grandfather. He went for a meeting somewhere, and that meeting encompassed a lot of bishops, founders of ministry, pioneers of ministry. So it's time for everybody to come and give his testimony. So this one will come up. God has blessed me in this way. God has increased me. I buy land in this place, buy car. So he was in shock and surprise that all these ministers, all that they could applaud God is, God give them land, God give me money to buy car, but none of them come and said, God added a soul to my ministry. God added a prospective soul to my ministry. So that pains him a lot. So all these ministers are after are mundane things, not the things that is eternal. I was going through a book this afternoon that he was caught up in a revelation, and the Lord took him to the heavenly Canaan in his revelation. Now, the level of salvation are categorized as those people that give their life to Christ and they did not dig further into investing in the things of the kingdom. Now, the level of the sanctification are those now who did but little work in investing in the kingdom, on reaching to the the level of kings. So he was so surprised to see people that he never knew them on earth. Those pioneer of ministry, he only found some of them at the level of at the least level in the kingdom. Those he expected to see in that level were people that he least expected to see them there. And he now asks God, for this man to be in the level of kings, that means he has won so many souls. He has done so many work for the kingdom. And the Lord asked him, and the Lord told him he did not. And asked the Lord, how many souls did this man won to warrant him this place, this glorious place in heaven? And the man answered. And God answered him and said to him that this man only won one soul for the kingdom. And he was surprised. This man won one soul, and he is in this level. What of those that invest so much in winning souls for the kingdom? Why are they not in this level? Then God explains that. God explained to him that this man is saying, I give him only 3% of my love, while others I have given them 70%, 80% of my love. And remember what the scripture said: to him much is given, much is expected. So this man now, I only give him 3% of my love. And more to that, this man was born blind. This man has no access to any good thing as far as this earth realm is concerned. This man was poor, blind, but he was contented with the little he had. He has never questioned my integrity for one day. He has never questioned my faithfulness for one day. That why will I create him blind that he could not see? Why will I not give him the good things of life that I give to others? He has never complained. He has never complained towards that direction, and he was faithful and diligent in all that he do. Despite the fact he was blind, despite the fact that he cannot see, he now picked a step of faith and went and meet people that are producing tracks. Since he cannot see, let them help him produce a track. So he now came and sat down at one corner. Everybody that is passing, if you notice that somebody is passing, he will call that person and now give that person that track. Anyone that is passing that is how he has been doing. And he was faithful. He has never complained that, God, you have never been faithful to me. I am doing all these things. Now, he has never requested for God to open his eyes in this service. He has never asked God that God should bless him with money. He has never asked God. To maybe increase his level. He was just contented with the way God created him, and he was faithfully, happily sharing those tracks. So that soul that he was able to win. It was one day, one man was about to die, and he was passing. Then he sensed that somebody was about to die, Then he now rush and meet the person, and he made sure that he lead that one person to Christ. And after leading that one person to Christ, that person died instantly. And that was the only soul that he achieved to the kingdom. And because he was faithful in all he is doing, so he has never complained. He has never grumbled. He has never asked question my integrity on why did I make him blind? Why did I give him? Why did I not give him all the goodness of life? He has never complained of all this. He was just faithful and contented with what he was doing. And that was part of those things that earned him this high ranking in my kingdom. And the man asked, how did this man die? Then God answered him that this man died as a Matthias. And he now went for that. How did he die as a Matthias? And God tell him that he died daily. This man that you are seeing, that he was blind, he died daily. He lived his life not to please others, but he lived his life to please me. He made sure people that are around him, they feel my impact. So all the life he lived on earth, he lived a life that he died daily, despite the fact that I'm only giving 3% of my love. So we tend to give on camera. And in the midst of that giving on camera, our reward will be those accolades that men will give to us. This man is trying, this man is doing this, this man is doing this. Whereas those who give off camera, those who give that men should not see what they are doing, their reward is more spacious in heaven than those of us that are giving and we're expecting men to see and say we are doing a good work of ministry. So there are people that give millions for the gospel, yet they are unknown.
Like the person that gave in this our crusade. You were in the crusade, definitely. So you saw at least one of the speakers there, and only to realize that it was one individual who even decided to still remain anonymous, who gave us about $1 million that fueled what we did. Now, of course, when we posted the updates of the crusade, nobody would know who was the person who actually sponsored that, who was the person who initiated that. I was telling somebody earlier today, I said, if that person has probably not made that offer, I may not want to really kick off that, because I know the stress it takes to organize a crusade. You are going through financial stress, you are going through physical stress, you are going through emotional stress, spiritual stress, and so financial stress is not a stress that I want to add to that. But then a person like that came up and decided, to say, okay, I'm going to foot the bills, and then only for the person to send him like $1 million, which is part of why, in fact, we had no plan of doing 2 crusades. I was moved by that.
So you see that kind of person, Pastor. Now you'll be surprised that there are people who will not know him here on earth.
People wouldn't.
There are people who will not even see him, his picture, his anything. People will not even recognize him. But don't be surprised. Going to heaven, you'll find out that his place in heaven will be far bigger than many of us that we are on Facebook, moving from one place to another for mission work.
Very possible, sir. Very possible.
You see, that program, if you notice that there are a lot of souls that give their life to Christ.
Yes.
And it was made possible by that giving that he do for us to be able to go and run this crusade.
Very true, sir.
So now those souls now that were won, I believe that he has part of the major share of those souls in heaven.
Very true. Very true.
Not all are called into the ministry of a prophet, into the ministry of pastors, into the ministry of teachers, into the ministry of evangelism. But he makes his resources available for it to be possible, or sink his resources for the promotion of God's kingdom. And I bet you God will keep his rewards differently, glorious rewards for that kind of person.
That's true. And you see, the good part, one of the things I like about those type of services is that you are not in the public eyes, because once people see your work in the public, and then people begin to appreciate you, more grace, man of God, more grace, you stand the danger of taking the glory for that kind of work, and that in itself has the capacity to jeopardize your reward eternally. But you see, those kinds of people who do what they want to do for God and go back into hidden, they are anonymous, they are not known, those people, they face less of those kinds of danger of taking glory for the work of God has been done. So they get to heaven and you always realize that their reward is always intact, which is part of why I always try my best to see how I want to appreciate them, tell, because he's not only the person, actually we have other partners, so he was just the major brain behind. In fact, he gave us what would cover for a crusade already, what was left plus what some of our very long partners over the years sent in were what we now use to say, okay, let's add up to this. We had other needs for the ministry actually, but we decided to say no, let's push this into winning souls so that people like this can be blessed. And because they are hidden, they are anonymous, they do not fall into that temptation of taking glory for the work of God or anything that has been done. And so you see, their reward will always remain very much intact in God.
Honestly, I applaud his effort. Honestly, whoever that person is, it's not even me. One of the speaker in that crusade, I don't know the person. Understand? So this is how serious that was. He understands the reward system of heaven. Heaven, half is not the reward system. The way we think God will reward us is far different with the way he rewards. And one thing I want us to be very careful as young ministers coming up, understand? Because there are this spirit of pride that always hang about. Now they are part of the army that the enemy is using for this end time. Their pride is one of the dangerous army, and they're the ones that always push those. Most of those founders of ministry that man talk. What brought them down was pride. What brought them down was the accolade of men, man of God. Then your head will grow bigger. You are doing well in ministry. Your head will grow bigger. You are doing this, and men have their way of bringing you down without you knowing. So if we're not careful as young ministers that we are coming, this pride will kill us and will make us lose our rightful place. The spirit of pride is roaming very fast and dangerous, that we really, really need to be careful as young believers. And honestly, I give credit to that man. That shows the high level of humility in him.
No. If it is that one, I can attest that he is very, very humble. Like a few people that know him can attest to you that is also a humble man. And I think we have this other partner too. It's a lady. I think she has been one of the longest partner I know of in the ministry. Her own life too is a challenge. Most people would not know her. She's simply just a married woman in her family. I think there are around two of them. Both of them are currently married like that. They have been consistent, to a certain extent. And they have been, and you will see us do crusades, we are in the public side. Nobody knows those ladies. You'll be shocked that maybe if we are not careful and we end up taking God's glory on earth here, we will get to heaven and discover that those people would even have higher share of reward in the work we ourselves have been killing ourselves, exerting physical energy doing, because they were silent, supporting from behind the scene, and their rewards were accumulating in heaven. There is a great danger for everyone who is at the forefront of the gospel. Very, very important, like you said. We have to
great danger. Very great danger, sir.
We have to be very careful so that
very great danger.
Financial partners and prayer partners will not end up taking the larger chunk of reward for the work that we are doing. And then some of those other people that were doing ushers in the background and nobody knows, those ones that are doing counseling, those that are connecting the light, like in my crusades, there is a young guy. He's behind the light, the stage. People may not know him, but those are the engine room. If we are not careful and then we do not check ourselves very well, pride comes in. We mistakenly or in one way or the other take the glory of the work. We get to heaven and discover that we just wasted time and energy. Other people will be called up, and then they would emerge the giants of heaven. while we are left with nothing.
And I know one key thing, sir, that may guarantee our place in heaven is humility. So at this point, sir, I really want to appreciate everybody that is giving unto God off camera.
Secretly,
giving unto God, so that men should not know, or so they'll give an applause. This person is trying. You understand?
Yeah.
So I will not be surprised to go to heaven and find our ushers sitting in the higher place in heaven. And we that we said we are the preacher of the gospel will be somewhere being a squatter in heaven.
because we were busy chasing the applause of men instead of the applause of God. We were busy chasing the praise of men instead of the praise of God. Very true. Our time is almost running up. You will notice he spoke about a man who didn't get much of the love of God. He didn't get so much of the goodness of God that a lot of other persons have gotten. And naturally on earth, you would all agree with me that we all have this notion. We believe if you are having more blessings, more good things in life, it is because God loves you more than the other person. But at the end of the day, when we get to heaven, God is going to measure your life, judge you and judge your actions based on the level of good and reward you have gotten on earth. Remember where Jesus said other people, somebody like Thomas, saw where the nail was, put in the arms of Jesus, and he believed. And Jesus said, Thomas, because you saw and believe, blessed are they that did not see, yet they believe. Now, it means a person who has never seen Jesus in a vision, who has never seen Jesus or angels in a vision or revelation, yet stands faithful to God to a certain extent, might end up getting more reward in heaven for the little they do for the kingdom than you who have seen a vision of Jesus, have seen angels. God have showered you with things he didn't shower to others, yet you didn't achieve as much as what that person has achieved. Naturally, it is easier for a person who Jesus have appeared to in a vision, in a dream, in the revelation, to believe God and the things of heaven than a person who has never seen Jesus in a vision or a revelation or something like that. It is naturally easier for a person who is, say, crippled, for example, and then starts walking to believe Jesus than for somebody who has never received any of the miracles of Jesus to believe. Now, if a person who has never seen a miracle of Jesus or a spectacular display of God's power in their life are able to believe God and do some things for the kingdom, that little they did for God will be amplified in heaven and more rewarded than for you who have enjoyed most of the goodness and the mercies of God and you didn't really do much, because the Bible says to whom much is given, much is required. If God bless you with a lot of resources, you have a good marriage, your job is working well, and then you have good children, what other people are suffering for, which has brought them to a point where they are now even doubting if God cares about them or not, or stuff like that. Your own story is different. You have a lot of reason to believe God is faithful and God is good to you. There is more expectation from you who has seen that level of love than for that person who hasn't really received much of those display of God's love that you have received. And with the little that person is able to do for the kingdom, it will be far more rewarded than for you who have seen much of God's love and have not really done to the capacity of what is expected from the things God has given to you so far. Look at your life. What blessings of God are you enjoying that so many other people are not enjoying? Instead of sitting down to be felicitating and thanking God for exceptionally blessing you, giving you things other people have not, you should be looking at the demands and expectations that are on you for these blessings you have. To whom much is given, much is expected. The other person graduated and he's just repairing shoe. Out of the shoe, he's just removing a little to support the work of the kingdom. But you have a well-paying job. You are doing well. Your life is the envy of many people. It is not time to sit down and start celebrating and jubilating. You are giving much because much is expected from you. Get to work. Stand up and start doing as much as you can for God before our time on earth is over. That's all I have for you for today. Thank you for watching. If this has blessed you, be sure to like the video and follow up so that you can be put in the know-how of every time we bring out powerful contents like this. Thank you for watching. Also, make sure you share. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. God bless you and bye.